Good morning, traders. Today is December 18th, and let's see, what does that make it? Tuesday. Here's what I'm looking at this morning, going back to what yesterday did at the close. Dell looks real strong in the morning here at the open with a probable gap up. It looks like it's going to open somewhere around, if I had to guess, it closed at, where did it close yesterday? Let me check. 1026. It looks like it's going to open up at least at 1035 from what I'm looking at. Oh, here's 1026, sorry. And looks like from what I'm looking at, probably an open around 1035, maybe 1030, and looks real strong at the open. A lot of accumulation yesterday. If we go to the 5-minute and look, yesterday's close 5-minute, the relative volume, I use relative volume to compare, is ridiculously a lot more, except for this volume here. A lot of pickup on the volume here on Dell. So look for that again on our daily. I'm looking for a bounce off of the 14-day moving average. You could push through to the 7-day moving average, but I think that we bounce off here just with the consideration of the volume and the accumulation that happened at the end of the close yesterday. So the other thing I'm looking at to play, Bank of America again looks strong. I think Bank of America goes higher again. I think it opens up, let me look here real quick. Closing at 11, I mean, it's ridiculous. I think it's going to open up at around 11:20, which puts you, oh man, already with a real strong game. But I think it goes higher. I think we get a close today around 11:30. If you wanted to play maybe a 15-cent range and set your stops accordingly for Bank of America. JCPenney's did rebound yesterday from what I looked at around the 2037 to 2064. JCPenney's this morning looks okay. I'm not seeing any volume in the pre-market, and I wouldn't really trade JCPenney's until it comes back down. It is trading a little higher than it should be. The other thing I'm looking at, of course, is the TNA ETF, which really just depends on how the overall markets do today. It already bounced off of the 14-day moving average and the 7-day a while ago, back on the 28th. So there was the bounce yesterday. Obviously, we're continuing the uptrend. The looking at the targets here, it looks like we could go to 61.57, which was the previous high back from last week. I'm looking over at my other chart on the TNA. Not a lot of volume on the TNA either, so it's one of those things that's kind of something you'll have to just look at, and I'll call for it if I make the trade. A little risky because it looks like I would rather get that if I could get a retrace to the 78.6 level. I'd really prefer to wait to see if it came down. The problem is it's already had these couple upswing days. You know, we go 1, 2, and then we're bouncing off number 3. The problem is if we bounce off number 3 here, okay, then we end up going back down. Now that would coincide with the fiscal cliff and all of the talks they're having there. So that's why TNA now looks like it's a little risky to trade. But it does look pretty strong, and it could go, if it did break that level. You saw me look at extensions here, which generally this stock does play out. You'd look at going up to this level here, which would be somewhere around the 64. Could easily get to the 64.48. So look for that if we break. The level I'm watching here is that level. Now let me get rid of all these drawings. So if we break 61.69, look for a push to 64.48. But like I said, I'd rather wait for it to come and bounce off one more time before we push higher. I don't think that would happen considering the fiscal cliff talks. So just keep that in mind when you're trading. The other thing to look at, let's see, we've done those. Research in motion looks like crap. Microsoft looks like it's going to open up higher as well, but there's not a lot of volume and momentum behind it. Closing yesterday at 27.09. The pre-market pushed it. I look for an open somewhere around 27.32, which prices you out of it. You're going to open up at least 1% high on Microsoft, so don't trade that. Microsoft has never paid that before, so to open up 20 cents high, roughly to give you that 1%, it's priced well out of and more just a market manipulation. In fact, I think Microsoft probably closes down today. So those are the ones I'm looking at. Any questions, send me an email. I enjoy hearing from everybody, and I try to respond to everybody as soon as I can.